What do you do when the past knocks on your door, demanding a piece of your present? For me, that question wasn't hypothetical, it was the reality of my 30th birthday. A day I'd planned to celebrate quietly, surrounded by the people who truly mattered. But life, as it often does, had other plans. The sun was dipping below the horizon, casting a warm glow over my modest suburban home. Balloons bobbed in the living room, and the scent of vanilla cake filled the air. My best friend Mia was setting out plates while my brother strummed a guitar in the corner, teasing me about hitting the big 3-0. It was perfect until the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find Jake, my ex-boyfriend of 3 years, standing beside his sister-in-law Carla. Jake's familiar crooked smile was there, but it felt forced, like a mask he hadn't worn in a while. Carla, with her sharp eyes and tighter grip on propriety, held a gift bag that looked more like a prop than a gesture. "Happy birthday, Lena," Jake said, his voice dripping with a confidence I hadn't heard since our breakup 2 years ago. "We're here to celebrate." Celebrate? The word hit me like a slap. Jake hadn't spoken to me since I ended things after his endless lies and broken promises. Carla, who'd never liked me, had made it clear I wasn't family material. Yet here they were, acting entitled to my milestone. "It's tradition," Carla added, her tone clipped. "We always spent your birthdays together. It's only right we're here." I stood frozen, the weight of their audacity sinking in. Tradition? The last birthday we'd celebrated together, Jake had shown up late, drunk, and Carla had spent the evening critiquing my life choices. My blood simmered, but I forced a smile. "Come in," I said, stepping aside. Mia shot me a look that screamed, "What are you doing?" But I had a plan, or at least the spark of one. As they settled onto my couch, Carla placed the gift bag on the coffee table like it was a peace offering. "We brought wine," she said, pulling out a cheap bottle I knew she'd grabbed from a gas station. Jake leaned back, scanning the room as if he still belonged here. "Looks like you're doing okay," he said, his eyes lingering on the balloons. "Missed us though, I bet." I swallowed the urge to laugh. Missed them? I'd spent 2 years rebuilding myself after Jake's betrayal, his cheating, his excuses, the way he'd chipped away at my confidence. Carla's constant judgment had only made it worse. But tonight wasn't about rehashing pain. It was about reclaiming my story. "Let's cut the cake," I said, gesturing to the kitchen. They followed, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. As I sliced into the cake, the room grew quiet, the tension thick enough to choke on. Jake reached for a piece, but I held up a hand. "Before we eat, I have something to say." They exchanged glances, Carla's lips pursing like she was bracing for a fight. I took a deep breath, my heart pounding but steady. "You think you have a right to be here because of some old tradition," I began, my voice calm but firm. "But you don't. Not anymore. You don't get to waltz into my life and claim a place at my table just because it suits you." Jake's smile faltered. "Lena, come on, it's your birthday. We're just trying to." "No," I cut him off. "You're here because you think I'm still the woman who'd let you walk all over her. But I'm not. I've spent these years learning who I am without you, and I'm stronger for it. You don't get to demand anything from men at my time. Not my forgiveness, not my birthday." Carla's eyes narrowed. "That's harsh, Lena. We're family." "Family?" I laughed, the sound sharp and freeing. "Family doesn't tear you down. Family doesn't show up uninvited, expecting gratitude. You're here because you're clinging to a past that doesn't exist anymore. And here's the thing you didn't expect. I don't need you. I've built a life full of people who lift me up, who see me for who I am. This birthday, it's for them, not you." The room was silent, the weight of my words settling like dust. Jake's face reddened and Carla clutched the gift bag like a shield. For the first time, they looked small, out of place in the warmth of my home. Mia stepped forward, her hand on my shoulder, a silent "I've got you." "You can leave now," I said, pointing to the door. "Take your wine. Take your gift. I don't need anything from you." Jake opened his mouth, then closed it, his bravado crumbling. Carla huffed, grabbing the bag and storming out. Jake followed, his shoulders slumped, the ghost of the man I'd once loved. As the door clicked shut, Mia burst into laughter. "That was epic," she said, pulling me into a hug. The rest of the night was everything I'd hoped for: laughter, music, and the kind of love that doesn't demand anything in return. As I blew out my candles, I didn't wish for anything. I already had it. The strength to let go of the past and embrace the life I'd built on my own terms. That night, I realized something profound. The people who hurt us don't get to define our story. We do. And my story? It's one of resilience, of choosing myself over the shadows of who I used to be. Jake and Carla might have shown up demanding a piece of my day, but they left with nothing because I'd already given myself everything I needed.